Mean free path. It is the average distance traveled by a molecule between two successive collisions. So if I say a molecule which is traveling in the medium, it may come across one molecule over here, another molecule may be here, another molecule may be somewhere here, another molecule can be somewhere over here. That means a molecule which is traveling first has to come and hit this. So if I am taking this particular one, this molecule will go and hit this molecule, then goes and hit this, then travels a distance of this hit it, and go for the collision of molecule over here. Now you see, if we take, this is L1 distance, L2, this is L3, this is L4. For every collision, it travels a distance which may not be the same distance it travels to undergo a collision. From a collision to another collision, it may travel a distance L1, L2, L3, L4. The average of all the distance that is traveled is taken as the mean free path. The average distance traveled by a molecule, by a molecule. We are only concerned with respect to one molecule traveling how much distance between any two successive collisions. Let us say between the collision 1, between the collision at 2, how much is the distance traveled by the molecule? This is taken as free path. L2 is taken as free path. L2 is free path, L3 is free path, L4 is free path, L1 is free path. Now mean of all this is mean free path. So the mean free path is given as average distance traveled by the molecule. Now to understand this particular average distance traveled by the molecule, let us say average distance which is taken as L, mean free path L, is given as the average velocity into time. Average velocity into time, which can also be written as average velocity by frequency. Now u bar, we know z1 is root 2 pi sigma square u bar into n. U bar gets cancelled, so I can write this is 1 by root 2 pi sigma square into n. This is your first equation. Now we know n can also be written as P by RT into NA. So I can use this particular one. So my mean free path will now transform into RT by root 2 pi sigma square into P into Avogadro number NA. This is your final equation, RT by root 2 pi sigma square P into NA. So here we can see L is equals to 1 by root 2 pi sigma square n, which can be written as RT by root 2 pi sigma square PVNA. So now in this I can give you the relationship between them. At constant pressure, L is proportional to T. At constant temperature, L is inversely proportional to P. If pressure and temperature are constant, I can even take another relation. I can write L is inversely proportional to the collision diameter square, 1 by sigma square. So this also can be the relations where you can use in the competitive examinations. They have given the relations in JEE examinations. So this is very important relations to be taken down as per examination point of view.